Good morning. We're back with a little bit of extra shot of sunrise for you here this morning. I'm Julia, along with Julia, Carlos, and Lindsay. We've been talking an awful lot about the weather this morning here. And boy, is it cold this morning.
It is, yeah. Temperatures are, at some spots, we're in the 30s. Up in Crawfordsville, up near Frankfort, it was about 38 degrees during the 6 o'clock hour this morning. So most of us still in the 40s. Yeah, it's going to be a chilly morning, so make sure you've got those jackets ready to go. We're also keeping an eye on what's going on down near Cuba. Now, this is an upgraded now Hurricane Ian, Category 3, made landfall just after 4 o'clock this morning as a Category 3. You can see the eye of that storm right over western Cuba right now. But as this goes back out into the Gulf of Mexico, forecasters still expecting this to re-intensify, potentially back into a Category 4 storm as it makes its way closer to the west coast of Florida. Right now it has 125-mile-per-hour sustained winds moving off to the north around 12 miles per hour. But as it continues into the Gulf, expected to take more of a northeasterly track. So this is over the next 12 hours expected to become a Category 4 as it moves closer to the Tampa Bay area and then making landfall late Wednesday night into Thursday morning as potentially a Category 3, which is still a major hurricane. 120, 125-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible there. So over that next time frame, that will take us into Friday into the weekend, becomes a tropical depression and will bring even the potential of some devastating flooding to places like northern Florida into southern Georgia as well as we get into closer to the weekend. But as of right now, again, we're still watching that develop and have major impacts there on the west coast of Florida.
You know, it's crazy when you think about it. You know, anyone who's been to Key West, you know, the furthest southern point of Key West, you have that marker that says 90 miles to Cuba. Well, the eye right now is over Cuba, yet the bands are hitting Miami.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, my brother is texting me, goes, oh yeah, we're getting thunderstorms and like crazy right now. That's how big this storm is. When you think about 90 miles is half the storm. You know, that's crazy.
And that's why, you know, we really don't focus on, oh, well, landfall is going to be at this time. But they're already going to start to feel, there's already been several tornado warnings along the Keys, and they're going to start to feel those tropical storm force winds as early as this evening. So it's kind of one of those days where you have to prepare multiple days in advance because you'll start feeling the impacts of it well ahead of that actual landfall.
That's amazing. We'll keep you updated throughout the day. And of course, you can keep it on NBC News as well. All right, let's shift gears now. Earl Jones bids Darth Vader adieu. The actor will no longer provide the Star Wars villain's iconic voice for future projects. Vanity Fair reports that Jones he's now allowed his menacing vocals to live on artificially by they're recreating it through an AI program. Earl Jones has been recording the legendary Star Wars villain's vocals since 1977. So there was a new show called Kenobi that came out on Disney Plus, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, whatever actor they got to play Earl Jones sounds just like Earl Jones because you know Darth Vader's in it. But then they said later that they took his vocals and then they put it like through an AI machine, like an artificial intelligence, and that's how they kind of came up with the new sound for Darth Vader, which sounds just like the old Darth Vader. So you're using technology to keep somebody's vocals alive. We see it these days with people recreating actors, you know, digitally, and you know, Tupac's in concert now because he's, you know, the hologram and this and that. But now they can do it vocally as well. So
I have to wonder what the paycheck though is like.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
He sold the rights.
Right, because that was my question. It's like, so before then it was like only he could do the Darth. Well, one, because I think if you heard Darth Vader's voice, you'd be like, that ain't it, if it wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
But so now I'm sure that, I guess he's got a lifetime stamp that's like he's now allowing, because it's his likeness,
right?
So his, you know, I don't know how that works. And what the contract.
Well, here's the crazy thing. So a little bit of Star Wars trivia for you. Earl Jones did not believe in Star Wars when it first came out. He was not in the credits for the original movie. He's like, don't worry about it. This movie's not going to make any money.
Yeah,
and so
I bet his agent screamed.
Yeah, they added him later. No, they added him later because he was like, this movie's not going to make any money. So there you go. So now he's embracing it.
That's weird. Okay, so NBC's prehistoric time travel hit from last fall, La Brea. That's actually returning tonight. I never watched this, but I've heard good things. So for season 2, it's been renewed for season 2. For season 1, it followed the folks who fell into that sinkhole, landing in the LA of 10,000 BC. So a mother and a son were among that group. But this season, by season's end, I'm butchering this because I have no idea what this is about. The family, father and daughter, jumped into a Seattle sinkhole.
Oh, okay.
Hoping for a reunion, and so they find themselves face to face with a woolly mammoth. Okay, so La Brea airs tonight at 9 p.m. right after The Voice. I obviously didn't sell it to you guys very well.
No, it's.
But wait, huh?
I don't know. Kind of
a
makes
sinkhole.
me.
And if this is 10,000 BC, why is a Hollywood sign?
No, because
This is
see, when
before
they fall into the hole, then they
sinkhole.
fall into 10,000 BC.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a whole
Okay,
thing.
well,
Yeah.
it's back.
You have to
y'all.
suspend disbelief.
Okay.
Second season.
Got it.
Well, a baby elephant is named the word for queen at the UK's largest zoo in honor of Queen Elizabeth II. So this calf's name is Nangpaya, which means queen or strong female monarch. Now this is interesting. The queen actually once met the calf's mom, Donna, when she opened the zoo's Center for Elephant Care in 2017. In fact, a picture of the queen feeding Donna a banana was featured on her official Christmas card that year
Wait, where is this again?
in the
UK.
UK. The
Okay.
zoo.
Okay. So I wonder, well, I guess maybe since, like maybe where this elephant is from, because I wonder why they chose the Thai word, like why they're.
Yeah, that's a very
Maybe
good
like the
name.
breed of elephant.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Maybe the origin is.
If you,
Could be
by the way,
where
if
the
you
elephant is
Maybe
from.
so.
Yeah.
remember in The Crown how she goes to Africa at one point, and her husband Philip like saves her from a charging
That's right.
elephant. You know,
Yeah.
there we go. So
Season
that she's got
one.
an affinity for elephants right there. All right, boy, I need to stop watching so much TV.
Yeah.
All right, so just real quick, people, we have a lot of Hoosiers down in Florida.
Yeah.
They're going to be suspending travel into the Tampa airport in the next few hours or so.
Yeah.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay, thank you for
Yeah,
that.
and
In and out, like they're shutting down the
whole
airport. Tampa.
as soon as those tropical storm force winds kind of move in, it's just, you know, better safe than sorry with that call. And we do know that the Indiana Task Force is going to be sending crews leaving early this morning. They're going to be sending folks down from the Hoosier State to help. We also know that there's Red Cross members from the Hoosier State who are going to be down there helping folks who are evacuating from that west coast over closer to the Orlando areas where they're going to be setting up their shelters and things like that to
Yeah, the guy
support.
we had on this morning brought up a great point. I mean, some families are able to pack up and head to a hotel or friends or whatever, but there are families who can't afford that
Yeah.
or have nowhere to go. So he said, you know, we're targeting those families. I know in the Sarasota area, they've closed schools starting today, and then those schools are serving as shelters.
Yeah.
So, and they'll have services there if you have family and friends in that area as well.
I was going to say that when I thought about like mandatory evacuation orders, and like usually we think that people like don't leave, that it's out of defiance, but that is
They have
typically
nowhere
why a
to
lot of times it's like
go,
leave and then go where? Like what
Yeah.
is the, but
Well, we are thinking about, I mean, they say 15 million people are being impacted in the state of Florida alone by this storm. So, and we've not even seen the beginning of it yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the state of Florida that won't be impacted because, like I said, the band's already hitting Miami. They're just going to keep going up the Panhandle and then all the way up to the, you know, even into Georgia as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep on top of this story over the next several days and probably in the next several weeks as well, right here on 13 News. Keep it right here for all the latest updates. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Sunrise beginning at 4 a.m.